Hello English learners, this is Priyanka Chaudhary and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, I will share with you how I created an English speaking environment around me to improve my English and become fluent at it. Yes, I had to create such an environment where I could get the exposure to learn English. You guys might be thinking that I'm from an English medium school or that I already had an English speaking environment at home, and that's how I'm able to speak like this today. But that's not true. I'll be sharing everything I did to surround myself with English. You just need to stay with me till the end to unlock all the strategies that I used to become fluent in English. So, are you ready? Let's start. I grew up in a household where Hindi was the only language spoken. My family communicated in Hindi, and there was no concept of speaking English in daily conversations. I did my schooling from a Hindi medium government school until class 10th. Unfortunately, my school environment did not provide any exposure to spoken English. We had an English textbook in our curriculum, but that was the only source of learning the language, and I don't think it was sufficient. Even then, the textbook did not make much sense to me. I struggled really hard to understand English because there was no one to guide me in speaking or understanding properly. When I reached class 11th, I enrolled in an English medium government school. This was a significant change for me, but even here, the medium of instruction was Hindi. It was just a so called English medium school. So I still did not get an English speaking environment over there. However, one major difference was that all my books this time when I was in 11th were in English. For the first time ever, I had to rely on English textbooks, which made me realize that I needed to work really hard to understand them. So, next was a very challenging task for me to understand all the books which were there in English. So, since I did not have an Android phone at that time, so I started learning English the traditional way by using a bilingual dictionary. Bilingual dictionary is when you try to find the meaning of any word in your native language. So that is bilingual dictionary. So whenever I encountered a difficult word while reading my textbooks, I would look up for their meaning in that bilingual dictionary. Means I look up for their meaning in Hindi. So this process was really time consuming, but it helped me develop a habit of searching for meanings. Later, I switched to a monolingual dictionary where meanings were explained in English itself. This was a game changer because it helped me understand new words in context rather than just translating them. So, I would also suggest you to start looking up for the meaning in a monolingual dictionary. And at this stage, I also started focusing on sentence structure and tenses. However, I was still not focusing on spoken English because that time when I was in school in 11th, spoken English was not given that much importance. We were only asked to score well in our exams. So that's why my entire focus was on understanding the grammar rule, the sentence formation, and how and the spellings as well. That how the words are written correctly without making mistakes. Therefore, my primary goal was to clear my exams. So I worked hard on understanding grammar, sentence formation, and comprehension. As I progressed in my studies, I realized how important it was to be able to speak in English. English was not just about writing and passing exams, it was a crucial skill for communication, job opportunities, and above all, personal growth. So, to improve my English further, I took English as my main subject in graduation. I enrolled myself in English honors in a college, and this turned out to be a turning point for me. For the first time, I was surrounded by an English speaking environment actually. Many of my professors and classmates conversed in English, which forced me to step out of my comfort zone. Listening to fluent English speakers and participating in discussions helped me tremendously. So, stepping out of comfort zone is really significant if you want to create an English speaking environment around you. All right. So you have to take up this challenge as I took this challenge for myself. That I was really dedicated to learn English, and that's the reason I enrolled myself in a course called English Honors, and there I was able to actually found that sort of environment that I was willing to. While my college provided a good environment, I knew that self practice was the key to mastering spoken English. So I started practicing at home using different techniques. And this is gonna be the crux of this video. So listen to this very carefully, that what kind of techniques I used to become fluent in English, to practice English at home. So there were a few techniques that you can also use to create such an environment. First, mirror technique. I would stand in front of a mirror and speak in English to improve my confidence and fluency. So mirror technique actually works wonder. And second was asking descriptive questions. I would describe random objects around me or answer questions in detail to enhance my thinking ability in English. And the third technique that I used for myself was shadowing technique. I started imitating native speakers from English cartoons, movies, and TV shows to improve my pronunciation and intonation. And the fourth technique was using social media. So, platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp forced me to type and communicate in English. That made me comfortable with the language. So, using these techniques helped me gradually develop fluency in spoken English. In order to create such an environment, I started watching English cartoons, which were easy for me to understand. And I began with watching easy to understand movies, right? Movies as well. I was a big fan of Harry Potter movie, so I watched this movie multiple times in my childhood days, and that too in English, reading the subtitles and then trying to match with the hero of the movie, or the characters in the movie, how are they speaking, and then imitating them speaking. By imitating, I used to get the tone, and besides this, the pronunciation of the words. I struggle a lot with the pronunciation, seriously. So how I worked on improving my pronunciation, just by watching different videos on YouTube as well. And watching movies helped me understanding different accents and culture as well. Then TED Talk helped me a lot. I have watched multiple interviews too, to understand that what kind of questions are asked, and how to respond to each and every question. So I never missed a chance to educate myself, to guide myself, uh, different things. So I tried multiple ways and techniques. I used to create flashcards for myself, and then I would describe each and every word in detail. That was also the part of learning and creating such an environment. I on my way to my on my way to college, or wherever I used to go, I would travel by bus or by metro. I would plug in my headphone or earpods, and I started listening to English songs. I was a huge actually fan of listening to English music, especially a few singers like Enrique or Justin Bieber was one of my favorite singers that time, not now, and a lot more other singers as well, like Britney Spears or Bruno Mars. So I used to listen a lot of English songs, and by listening to English songs, I actually improved my pronunciation, and I would get lost in the music, the lyrics of the song. I would enjoy it too much. And by doing this, I now can sing so many songs, and that too with a lot of passion. So, this is how I have created an English speaking environment around me, despite not having people actually around me speaking English. So whenever I used to come back to home, nobody was there speaking English with me. So I used to watch movies again, English cartoons. Music was a part of my English practice, listening to English music, English songs, and singing at the same time. So I used to sing, hum the song. It was not like I was just listening, and listening. I used to sing as well because I want to practice speaking words. So, mouth movement was really important, and practice pronouncing different words. I took the help of internet so much. Internet helped me a lot understanding everything. So I subscribed to a few um, channels which helped me understanding, and which educated me which actually guided me learning a lot of things in English and pronunciation of a lot of words. I used to pronounce a lot of words in the wrong way. I used to mispronounce a lot of words like almond or development. There were some other words as well, like I would say monk. Later I came to know that these words are pronounced differently. It's a development, it's monk, and it's lieutenant or lieutenant. So this is I mean, I was completely stunned when I came to realize the correct pronunciation of these words. Then I started paying attention on the pronunciation of each and every word while reading, while listening, and everything. And this is how I worked a lot on my pronunciation. And I make sure whenever I'm going to pronounce these words, the pronunciation must be up to the mark. Then, after completing my graduation, I pursued a post graduation degree in English. And by this time, I had made friends who spoke to me in English, which further enhanced my speaking skills. Like regular conversation with them helped me gain confidence and use English naturally in my daily life. So it's really significant to interact with people in English on the daily basis. So if you can manage, you can talk, then it is gonna be really awesome. And then I started working as an English tutor, teaching students who wanted to learn English. This experience helped me revise everything I had learned so far. So, teaching others forced me to explain concepts clearly, which strengthened my own understanding of English and other related things related to English, like grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. Because when you teach somebody, you have to clear that person's doubt. For that, you need to clear everything yourself so that you can make other person understand. So this is how it forced me learning a lot of other things. While tutoring helped me a lot, I wanted a professional environment where I could practice speaking English regularly. So I started looking for jobs that required spoken English skills. For this purpose, I applied for the position of an English language trainer at an NGO. Since I had already worked hard on my speaking skills, I prepared well for the interview and successfully cleared it. Working as a trainer gave me immense exposure to spoken English. I interacted with students, conducted training sessions, and improved my fluency every day. So, this was the entire journey of creating an English speaking environment around me. So, looking back, I realized that creating an English speaking environment for myself was really a long journey. From a Hindi speaking family and a Hindi medium school to teaching English and working as a trainer, every step required effort, dedication, and practice. So, my biggest takeaways from this journey are: first, self practice is key. If you don't get an English speaking environment, create one for yourself. Second, use different techniques like mirror practice, shadowing, watching English content, and using social media in English can really help you. Third, surround yourself with English by talking to friends, read English books, and engage with content that forces you to use the language. And here is the last one: teach to learn better. Explaining English to others actually strengthens your own understanding. If you don't believe me, start doing this. Now, I just want to say that if I could do it without an English speaking background, anyone can. It just takes consistent effort and the right approach. Well, if you found this video worth watching and you got some sort of inspiration from watching this video, do not forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends as well. I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.